okay. We're having some technical problems this morning, but that's okay. We're not gonna let the devil win this one. We're gonna do this anyway, okay? Because I don't have the devil in me. So we're gonna do this here. As long as that you can hear me, we're fine. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I'm Pastor Barbara Pierce, and this is Unique Euphony. Coffee, Canvas, and Conversation. And today we're going to have an awesome host. Her name is Dr. Lula Bridges, and we'll be talking about parental involvement and everything that goes along with that. Today, Mr. Wesley Alexander, and let me get this name right, Wesley Alexander Angel Star. He's going to take over the hosting today since we're having technical problems, and I know he'll do a great job because he has before. But I just want to say that I want to introduce also our co-host Gary Taylor and Nyla. Okay, Nyla is on here, and she's going to be doing open mic today, so that's a great thing. And then we have our 9-year-old author on here, Samaya BJ Forum. So this is going to be great, guys, and I'm going to go and switch over to Facebook so that I won't miss anything. So let's turn it over to our host.
All right, Mr. Gary, Mr. Wesley, how are you today?
How's everyone? How are you? How are you?
Oh, we're doing great, So excited about Echo and Flame discussing where every voice matters in the family. Everybody gets an opportunity to talk about what they feel, and we get to listen to each other. I am so excited to combine cognitive behavioral therapy along with the Bible, verses from the scripture that will help us understand better how we can use the Bible. We did come with instructions. God did not leave that out. He gave us instructions on how to rear our family. And I've heard so many times, children don't come with instructions, but yes, children comes with instructions. When God created the world, he did not leave out that part where he gave us instructions on how to treat each other. He gave us instructions on how to raise our family. So I should say how to rear our family. And so this is what the part that we're going to talk about today. We would like for Echo and Flame to talk a lot about what has happened in childhood rearing with our guest that's on today. If they'd like to chime in and talk with us, I'll be more than excited to hear what they have to say as well. When we talk about echo for us is what we say and how our children perceive it, and then they give it back to us. So that becomes the echo. The flame is what we see growing in our children. So our children become better citizens, our children become better individuals, better Christians, because of the echo, the voices that they hear us say, things they hear us say. Then they get an opportunity to, in other words, they become our future. They become our future, our legacy. They become who we believe that we want to be. So things that we may have missed out in the past, saying, oh, when I was a child, if I could have done this. Well, you have children in front of you now. Although they have their own wishes and their own goals and dreams, you can watch that play out in them. A lot of the things that you would like to have seen growing up. We're going to look at some scriptures today. Romans 12th chapter, the 2nd verse, which says, do not conform to the patterns of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And a lot of what we see children doing comes from TV, radio, all these different, the internet. And so that's where a lot of the bullying comes from. And so what this is saying is don't let the world shape your child for you. As a parent, it is our responsibility to help shape our children along with prayer. Okay. And then the other key scripture that we're going to look at is Ephesians, the 6th chapter, 1st to the 4th verse, which says, encouragement for your children to honor your parents and for parents to nurture without provoking. Now, I know when you say parenting without provoking, that's kind of funny, because how in the world can you parent a child without the child not liking what you say or do? Okay. There's a difference between provoking and abusing, so to speak. Listening to what our children have to say and helping them help you give them the proper guidance or discipline that they need in order for them to continue to grow. When we think about kids who are out there bullying other kids, they have perceived from their parents that it's okay to bully. They watch their parents talk about other folks and bully them and talk about how great they are and how bad somebody else is. They have gotten that echo that has come back to them. It's coming back. The parents are hearing what they are saying, and then their children have picked it up, and now they are taking it out into the streets or into the school system, and there go the flame. That flame is not the flame that they want, but it's the flame that they have given in the home. So a lot of times parents don't really want it. This is not what they want. This is not what they have decided to do, but this is what has happened. And so we have to think about what it is that we're saying around our children. I remember growing up, the thing of children are to be seen and not heard. Children, go to your room. Parents didn't want their children to hear everything that was going on or being said by adults, because a lot of times children misconceive what is being said. So we have to be very careful with our children, because remember, now our children are our legacy. And I've had people say to me, well, you know what, I'm dead, I don't care what they think, what they say when I'm gone, that's on them. No, it's not on them. What your children do reflects who you are, and it also reflects what's going to happen to your next generation and the next generation. So when you have beautiful kids like Samaya here and Nyla, I can't see if you're a young person or not, but when you have young people like this, it reflects back on their parents saying, okay, they have put something in these children that has given them an opportunity to grow. These children feel like it's okay. It's okay for me to express myself. And that's what you want. You want children who feel like it's okay to express themselves. They're not being shut down every time they disagree with the parent. I don't want my child disagreeing with me. Yes, you do, because you want to make sure that the child is understanding everything that you are telling them. So if they don't disagree, then guess what? You don't know what they're thinking. So give them an opportunity to disagree. There's a difference between disagreeing and being disrespectful. Disrespectful is calling mom out of her name, saying ugly things, using foul language. That's why if I see anything on Facebook, I don't care how good it is, if they are using profanity, that tells me that that person is unintelligent and they can't use regular language in order to tell somebody something.
That's right.
So I don't want to hear it. I don't care if they're Jesus. I mean it literally. If Jesus came down and he was using foul language, which we know he would never do, but if he was doing that, then we would know that that is not who Jesus is. Okay.
Yes.
And so when our children, if people come to us and say our children are doing this, that, and the other, as a parent, you want to say, oh no, I hear what you're saying, sir, but I want to disagree that does not sound like my child. But you can't say that if you don't know your child and what your child is thinking. So right. It's okay for the child to disagree. It's not the end of the world. We want them to hear. We want to hear what they say, and we want them to feel that their voice matters.
Dr.
Yeah.
Bridges, Dr.
Go
Bridges,
ahead, please.
You can hear me now, right?
Yes, you're fine.
And I can hear you, and it was in the system. We'll talk about it later. But listen, I want to just go ahead and take a break and just go to our sponsors. I'm going to take over the hosting again. Okay.
Okay. We're back.
Okay, then we're back, Dr. Bridges. You can continue on.
Okay, great, super. As I think I was at the point of saying that we want our children to be able to talk back to us, but talking back is different from being disrespectful. It's giving their perspective. They get so much information from everywhere. And a lot of times the information that they get is totally wrong. At least 60% of that time it's totally wrong. And so we want to hear them out. And if you are tired that day, if you just happen to be tired the day that something bad has happened at school or whatever, my grandmother used to put it on the shelf. Okay, we're going to put this on the shelf and we're going to leave it there. Give me a couple of hours so we can talk about it. But you do not need to be angry, upset, and mad at the child before you know everything about the situation. Don't just assume the child is wrong or that the child understood why he did what he did. I got one good example. My son came home from school. He's like his mother. He likes to talk. And he came home from school and he was talking in class and the teacher was talking as well. And so the teacher spanked him. And he said to me, Mom, I got a spanking today. And I said, really? And he said, yeah. I said, why did you get the spanking? He said, that's the problem. I don't know why I got the spanking. So that is simply because when he gets spankings at home, like with me, when I was growing up, when I got a spanking, I was told what the spanking was for. I didn't just get a spanking. You got the spanking because you didn't do this or you whatever the conversation was, and I knew I was going to get a spanking. So he said, I don't understand why the teacher spanked me today. And so I said, okay, well, we'll call the teacher. And believe it or not, the teacher was actually a friend of mine. So I called the teacher up and I said, well, Richard told me he got a spanking today. Now, she knew me well, and she knew I did not have a problem with her spanking him because I believed she was a good teacher and she would not have spanked him in vain. And she got upset with me because I told her that my son was sitting here wanting to know why he got a spanking. To her, that was an insult, but I to this day have not understood why she felt it was an insult for the child to want to understand that he cannot talk in class while the teacher is talking. And so when we finally got the situation taken care of, it was, okay, Richard, this is what you did wrong. You were talking in class while the teacher was talking and she told you to be quiet and you did not. And you didn't hear that she said, if you keep talking, you're going to get a spanking. So that's why you got the spanking. Okay, so now he has a better understanding and he's like, okay, Mom, I promise I'm going to stop talking in class. Okay. So we have to think about the big picture. We have to see the whole picture before we make an assumption. Now, he was wrong for talking in class and but after that situation with the teacher, and I had such a hard time with it, I just kind of let it slide because I was like, wow, I had to fight with the teacher just to find out why he got the spanking. So a lot of times, if we listen to the whole story, then sometimes we will find that the child perceived it wrong, and the child didn't do it just because he was doing it because, number one, my son has ADHD, and talking was, if that's all he was doing, that was great. So we want our children to feel that their voices are important, and they can't feel that if we cut them off. If we tell them, I don't want to talk about this. I done told you this is what you got to do. The circumstances may be a little different. Now, don't get me wrong. Our kids can be mischievous, but for a lot of reasons. Number one, they want peer pressure. They believe in peer pressure. Well, there is peer pressure going on, and they feel like they want to be a part of the crowd. And then sometimes they feel like they have to do it in order to, in order to take care of the situation. That's why they did it. Okay. So hearing the whole story makes it so much better than just deciding that your child is wrong. Saying that I have decided my child is wrong because the teacher said it, or the principal said, or whomever, or another child said it, can say to the child, you're not valuable. It's what other people say that counts to me. And we don't ever want our child to feel that way. We don't ever want our child to feel devalued. Children who feel devalued, sometimes those are the kids that are saying, you know what, I'm being bullied, I'm being mistreated, nobody cares about me, and then they go and do something to themselves. Okay, or they make an attempt. So we never want our children to feel that they're not valued. Now, on the other hand, parents who go to the school and cuss the teachers out and say disrespectful things to the teacher is showing the teacher that child should not be is not respected at home. Because if the child was respected at home, then the parent would be able to come and respect you. We all get upset, and we know that things happen. So being able to talk to the teacher and say, listen, what do I need to do? Do I need to come and sit in the classroom with him to help him understand that he can't misbehave? What do I need to do to help my child? Because let's face it, sometimes classism gets in the way of the fact that this child may not have as much money as the child sitting in front of them, or this child that sits in front of him actually is more verbal than you are. So the one in the front gets more attention than your child, because that teacher doesn't want that parent to come to school and act up with them. So we have to think about, there's a ton of things that are going on with our children every single day. It doesn't have to be just the parent and teacher involvement. It's outside. It's the neighbors. It's everybody. We want to make sure our children understand that they are valuable. Children, we want our parents to understand that we love them, we respect them, and we show them by the words we use, but we also show them about the behavior that we exhibit when we're out in public. Okay, you may laugh and kid and say little crazy things at home, but you know that's not what mom and dad want you to do once you get out in public. Okay, so
go ahead, Miss Pierce. She got a question.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, so this is very good information. I mean, this is like awesome information, especially when you've been like a teacher like myself and now pastoring and stuff like that. You're saying everything, you're touching everything properly. But I just want to take the time out, because we do have some young people on here, and I just want to hear if they're really getting it, if they're really getting what you're talking about. And I want to start off with Nyla, because she's a college student.
Oh, wait, she looks like a
she's young. You can tell she's young, right? Yeah. So now, you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to bring up an interesting point. I like how you said that parents should be more involved with their kids. Coming from someone who was, more recently a child, I would say a lot of the time I was kind of more so raised off the internet, mainly because I was more of a good kid, so I didn't really have like the need to be parented too much. So I would say I got a lot of my values from the internet, and today I can say a lot of kids are very much influenced by the internet, and their
Right.
parents aren't really involved in their kids' life as much. So I think it's a pretty interesting point that you
Yeah,
made.
I want to piggyback off of what she's saying. It's because I have a 2.5-year-old great grandbaby, and I noticed that she's already being influenced by internet by watching Miss Rachel and Baby Shark and all that kind of stuff, and that's really good for her educational part as far as her colors and her alphabets and stuff like that. But we still have to get involved in children's lives outside of internet, outside of the
Right.
the TV, because there's it's so much social things that are going on out there that doesn't explain it on television or doesn't
Right.
explain it on the internet.
And
So
and
go
you
ahead.
don't want it to. You don't want
That's
the
right.
television to explain it.
That's right.
Mhm,
That's right. And I
mhm.
understand about you being a good, a good child and being a good student and everything, but there's just so much more out there in the world that I know that you're going to learn. Just be open to it, because everything is not on the internet and everything is not on television, or everything is not from your friends, your peers and stuff like that. So yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying, because I'm watching it in my 2.5-year-old, that my grandchild and my daughter didn't have those opportunities of the internet, and stuff like that. So I understand very much what you're talking about.
I would like to ask Nyla. Nyla, what exactly would have wanted to have received more from your parents than like you say, you were a good kid. They didn't have to worry about discipline to the extent of worrying about you in school. But what about what is it that you would have
There's some
liked to
music in the
have?
background. Somebody has some music or something. Okay, there we go.
No, it's Nyla.
It might be
It's,
me.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm watching my brother's dog and it calms her down.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay.
it might
Okay.
be
I'm
it.
sorry. Go ahead.
I'm not so sure. Um I think just more guidance with like just career things, and just to push me a little bit harder. I feel like
Okay.
since I was kind of just really good at school, they didn't push me as much because they kind of expected it from me. But I feel like I could have maybe got more of a push to
Okay.
really make me more determined in school.
Okay. Okay. So what's going to push you now? What's going to encourage you to do more now?
The environment we're in right now, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing the way the world is right now, that kind of makes me uncomfortable. So that's what's making me want to be more comfortable and make me want to do more so I
Okay.
can be comfortable.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Guys, we have to go into our sponsors right now. We'll be right back. All right. I know Dr. Hildaya is on now, and I don't want to, because we don't see her, we want to make sure.
she just got clocked
Yeah.
off. She's having trouble. She's
been getting clocked off a lot. How about Mr. Gary? Do you have anything that you want to respond to Dr. Lula Bridges?
Please go ahead, Gary.
Yes, ma'am. Dr. Bridges, I love what you're doing. You are amazing. I remember, I forget, I think I was in elementary school. I remember one morning, it was on a Saturday or Sunday, weekend morning, probably on a Saturday, but I walked out on my front porch and I saw a lot of my neighbors. My neighbor across the street was out. I said, if hello, Anne, how are you doing? And my neighbor next door, she was out, her name was Anne too. And I said, hello, Anne, how are you doing? And the neighbor next door was out. I said, hi, Tom, how are you doing? And my mother overheard that, and she told me gently, she said, those people are a lot older than you are. You know, I was in elementary school at the time, and she said, and my mother said, I'd like for you to call them Mrs. or Mr., you know, to show respect for them. And
Right.
so that's what values that she instilled in me, you know, at that time.
Yes.
You know, she was not happy with me calling them by their first name. She said that she explained to me that she was more of their age, so she could call them by their first name. But she told me, she said, I want you calling them Mr. or Mrs., you know, just to show respect. And if I did anything wrong in school, she would say, I'm going to march you to school myself and go into the classroom with you.
Right. Right.
That's exactly right. Hey guys, I don't mean to cut you guys off. This has been so great, but I want to make sure that I get everything here, especially that I have young Samaya on here. So Dr. Bridges, we'll come back in a few minutes. Let's go ahead on and introduce young Samaya. Samaya has written a book, and it's called My Mommy is a Porcupine. And when I heard when I heard that, I was like, oh my God, what does that actually mean? And she tells the story of why she called her mommy a porcupine. And do you have your book cover, Samaya? There you go. So look at that.
Oh, that is a beautiful cover.
Yes. I'm not bragging, but I've done that myself with the help of AI.
Good job.
But but anyway, we want Samaya to talk a little bit about her book and what she's doing. She has a project that'll be coming up again soon. So go ahead, Samaya. You got the stage.
My book is Good morning, everyone. My book is My Mommy is a Porcupine, and my book includes coloring pages, a recipe, and it has a Did You Know? You can draw a porcupine. It has a journal, and you can write your story in it, and it is Spanish.
All right.
Yes. So what we want, guys, is this is what we're going to do when we bring our new authors on, because I'm going to be the first to do this today. I have to order another book because I have her book for when it first came out. And I flew all the way to Georgia to her book signing, but I do not have her signature. So I'm going to order another book directly from her so that she can sign it and send to me. Okay. Great. So let me see if I can get some people to help us out here. How about Mr. Gary? You think you can order a book or so?
I can, yes, definitely.
Okay. So do we have her information? How about you, Dr. Bridges?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay. How about you, Nyla?
Of course, anything to support a young author.
All right. So see, Dr. Hildaya is on here right now. Doctor, how about you? You think we can get you to order a book?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So now all we need is that information on there on how to go about ordering the book. Okay. Do we have her information?
On the screen.
On the screen. Okay, there it is. There's her card. Okay, so there I got to get closer. But anyway, so we go ahead and order a book. Now, what we want to do is order her book directly from her because she'll make a more profit than if you ordered it on Amazon.com. But we want to get as many of these books ordered as possible. In fact, I think I'm going to order a few of them for Christmas gifts because I work with people that have kids of her age that will be very good in writing their own stories. And this book do have a journal that you can write your own stories about your own porcupines. And what I learned, Dr. Bridges, is that porcupines all over the world are different. I didn't know they had so many different kinds of porcupines. I was just thinking of one porcupine with a lot of spikes on it and everything, but there are Australian porcupines or South American.
Wow.
I didn't know.
The idea that she used the word porcupine to describe mom makes it very interesting.
I know. Right? So what? Yeah, and so I'm not going to tell you.
Has a question.
She got her hands up.
Go ahead, Samaya.
We made the recipe. We have it with us now.
What? You did the recipe? See, that got parental involvement.
Yes.
Parental involvement. And that was one of the reasons why. Look at her. Look at this.
That is great.
Porcupine meatballs.
Wow.
Can I have a bite?
They look good. They look really good. When I come back to Georgia, y'all gonna have to make some more of them so I can come on. Hey, matter of fact, when we talk about the book fair that's coming, maybe we can get Grandma to help you make some porcupine meatballs then, so we can try it. How about that? And I saw grandma over there. That's an awesome parental involvement, is when I have a book too called Muffin Freckles, where the mother and the child can make muffins together. So we try to do more of that parental involvement kind of stuff. So Maya, we want to thank you so much for being on there and hanging in there. And we're going to get those books sold and make sure that you get some money. Okay. And I'll make sure that each and every one of these people on here have that information so they can get that book and you sign it and you send it back to them. How about that?
Yes.
So Maya will also be doing this on, and she has an awesome video, commercial video that we're going to show tomorrow on the National Children's Church tomorrow. So you'll get to see that because I love it. I think it's so cute when she talks about the porcupine thing. But anyway, let's go ahead on. Hang in there. Don't go nowhere, Samaya. Let's go ahead on to our open mic.
Hold on.
Did I miss the camera?
Yeah, you skipped something. Hold on. Wait a minute. Slow your roll. Here we go. Canvas.
Okay.
There you go. All right. So here's today's canvas. This is from one of our GRIP members. This is from what's her last name? Danny something. Tabitha gonna get me when I see her.
Powers. I think it's Powers. I know her mother's last name is Powers. Tabitha Power, yeah.
No, Danny's last name starts with a W. I think it's a Walker. But this is from Danny. Okay. We'll just stick with that. I want Tabitha to get me. So we'll stick with that. So this is her. We had her on earlier this year, and we interviewed her. She's a shy little thing, but she does some amazing artwork. Yes, so this is on canvas.
She also is a recipient of an award for the Black History program that we had back in February in Fort Worth, Texas. Wow. She actually was the winner.
And these were two of her artworks I think she had in there. But she also had Betty Boop, which I think I have a copy of it, but didn't put it in here. They told me which ones to show. So I'm showing these. Her little anime character. So that is your canvas for it.
That is
she
cool.
Incorporated some nice song lyrics into there. But now let's go to open mic with Nyla Peck.
So Nyla, I was so excited about getting you on here to do this. I'm sorry that I jumped the gun.
No, you're fine. Okay, so today I have a poem that I made all the way back in my first year of high school. This is the first poem I ever made. It's called Tête-à-Tête. And a tête-à-tête is a French term or phrase meaning a private conversation between two people. We had a little tête-à-tête. It was simple and short. There was no room for another argument or a snarky retort. I hate it when our conversations end like this. It leaves me with the fire burning in my heart. No water to calm it down. Oh, how I wish we could go back to the start. When things were all sunshine and rainbows, now they're all storm clouds and rain, dark skies and harsh winds, bringing with it relentless pain. Sometimes I think of how my life would have been if I hadn't met them. Would I be beaming like the sun on a cloudless day, dancing in a field of dozens of dandelions, or would I be singing the blues to melt my heartache away? I came to a consensus of what I needed to do. Even though my heart would be heavy, I needed to make some room. No more will the fire be ignited in my heart, for the flower of happiness will begin to bloom. We had a little tête-à-tête, this time calm and left me grinning. The end is the hardest part of a story, yet it's the start to a new beginning.
Awesome. Right on time. That is perfect.
Wonderful.
I like it.
Parents and children should have tête-à-tête.
Yeah, you can still remember your poem from your first year in high school. I did one my first year in high school. I can't remember any of it.
Well, I have them written down.
Okay.
So I kept them.
That's right. That's right, Nyla. Yeah, I do too. Yeah, that's right.
Nyla, but what happened to me is that I was in a fire that destroyed everything that I had. So that's why I don't have mine written down on paper. It actually got destroyed.
And that's
Okay.
sad.
And
That's a
it'd be
sad
nice though if
story.
I could have memorized it, but I can't remember more things that I do. I can't remember half the stuff that I did back then.
Oh.
But that's
But
good.
Dr. Bridges, I had one thing to ask because I'm one of the young people. Miss Pierce didn't get to me yet.
Yeah, because
I know she was
you're
working
so
her way.
grown that I forget about you, a young person.
Okay.
Anyway, we ain't gonna do that today. Okay. Anyway, I'm how old am I? I'm 20. Okay, so I'm
Okay.
young. And I was listening to Nyla. She's not too far from me. She's 21. So we're close.
Okay.
But I was the same way, but the difference with my life is I wasn't, I didn't have my mother and my father, I had my grandparents. But they didn't bother with me as much as they did with my sisters because I didn't cause any trouble. I mind my business, I stayed to myself, I was a straight A student. So I understand, what Nyla's talking about. So I didn't get a lot of push, with doing things because most of the time I just did them and I kept going. And I think about my current ventures. I got a book out. Thank you, Unique Euphony, for publishing that book. And book 2 is coming. I got a book. Yesterday, I stayed up all night long to launch my own product last night, and it's finally up. And I think about things like that. Now, I do think my grandparents put enough in me to where they said, keep going and, don't stop. If you want something, you got to do it. But they expected me to do it myself and, not necessarily be straight along the way. So I understand everything Nyla's saying. I totally agree with
Yeah.
her.
I hear what you're saying. Sometimes parents see you, they're not ignoring you. Okay. What they're doing is honoring you, believing that you on your own can do the things that you need to do. They see you, and when you least expect it, they can step in and say, oh, do you need help with this? Or when they see that, or when they believe that you may need some help. But overall, if you're doing well already, they want you to go ahead and continue as you are. Sometimes we misread those kind of things. But what I'm hearing from you and Nala is not so much that you wanted them to give you more push, but more attention. Maybe more attention is a better word than more of a push, because look who you've become with all the things that you've already done. They could see that you had it in you and that you were utilizing those things. Maybe they stepped back and they, you would have wanted them to maybe be more involved with you. But being able to let your voice be heard and say that, with your parents, even now, saying that to your parents, I would love that you could be more involved. I was a pretty decent student in school, and I knew not to get into a lot of trouble. And just like you all, my grandparents who raised me, they didn't really worry about me too much until, every now and then the school would call. But I found out that they were really noticing. They were noticing. Like, for instance, I got in trouble. As long as I was an AB student, and if I got a C in math, they knew that was my weakest subject. So as long as I did well, it was okay. But one day the teacher knew better, and the teacher called my grandmother and said, "Lula's gonna make an A, B, or F. She can't make a C, and she can't make a D. Even if she makes them, she's going to get an F." So my grandmother, who I didn't think much of it, didn't think that she was really watching because my grades were okay. My behavior was fine. But when I got home, she said to me, after she had talked to the teacher, she said, "What I want you to do," this says that she understood me. She said, "I want you to go to school, and every day you come home, I want you to explain to me what the teacher explained to you." Now, she could have yelled at me. She could have spanked me. She could have, told me that, you're not going to be acting stupid in class, on and on and on. But she did the one thing that made me do what I had to do. I had to listen. Like my son, that talking, that was what I was good at. Okay. And so, because she said to me, you will teach me what the teacher has taught you. And I wasn't worried about her knowing because she taught me math. Okay. So, when I got home every day, I had to come and talk to her about what the teacher taught me. So, that helped me to understand that not only did she, although it seemed like she wasn't worried about me, she understood me. Do you see what I'm saying? She
Right,
understood
right.
what my needs were. So, yes, sir, Mr. Gary.
I'm friends with somebody, and I got two sides to this. I'm friends with somebody. He is a member. Well, he's the head of a nonprofit group called Grandparents' Parents. There's a lot of grandparents raising their grandkids.
Their grandchildren.
I think that one of the greatest things that parents can do for their children, no matter if their children are misbehaving or something, is to speak positive things over their children, to speak blessing over their children, because in turn, when they do that, their children will echo that into the lives of their children and their grandchildren. So I think that parents need to speak positive things over their children.
Right,
Yes,
right.
yeah.
They really should. They really should. And so, what I'm saying is that even at your age, even at 20, being able to say to your parents, I really would like for you to go to them and talk to them about what you're doing. Let them know that you want their opinion, that their opinion counts. So maybe they may feel that you all are doing so great, you don't need them. So, parents can feel unloved as well, or unneeded as well. So sometimes when we take a moment to say to them, you know what, I would like your opinion in this, or could you help me with this? I just want to get another opinion, and ask them for their opinion. Believe it or not, sometimes parents feel that the children are a lot smarter than they are, and they can't participate in what's going on. So, when we take the time to try to explain it to them, even if they don't get it all, if they get any of it, praise them too for what they get, because we can feel insecure as well. Okay. So it's not a one-sided thing where children just feel insecure when parents don't do things. Parents can feel insecure when they have smart children.
Yeah,
And it looks like the smart children know more than they do, so they don't feel like they're needed. So sometimes we have to embrace our parents and say, listen, I want your opinion. Your opinion counts to me. So both of us, that's why every voice matters. That's why the echo goes around both ways. The parents, what the parents put into the children, what the children put into the parents. We all need each other. Okay. That's why they call it parents. Why they call it family. One voice, one flame, one family. Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that is awesome. We have Dr. Hildaya is back. She's been having some
good.
She's been struggling, and we pretty much got it figured out what's going on. But anyway, she's struggling with hers too. But she's back. I don't know how much she's heard. But Dr. Hildaya, do you have anything you want to say with the parental involvement? Because you're a parent, you understand what's going on here.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can. Yes.
Okay. I'm like, oh my God.
I know it's been a struggle today. It's been a struggle.
Okay. I think I missed about maybe 15, 20 minutes with the struggle, what was going on with my phone. And now I just was able to get in on the desktop. I'm trying to collect my thoughts back. Well,
That's
I think
okay.
Dr. Lula, she was stating pertaining to how our youth, when we're raising them, correct?
Right.
If they don't understand, because it's called constructive, criticism. I'm going to be honest, based on my experiences growing up, I am against child abuse. So I do not believe in. Yes, I don't believe in the sparing the rod saying. I mean, it worked for some youth and it don't. So the reason why I'm stating this, because I didn't get spankings all of the time, but the times that I did get them where I felt like I didn't even really do nothing bad, even though my mom told me why she was spanking me, I felt like, okay, you can't preach about the Bible and then you say that God forgive us for any sin, but then you state that you a civil rights leader or you against being abused from back in the days where our ancestors was abused during slavery. Because they did state that the masters abused our ancestors due to them not listening. Some, okay? So it goes back to when you raising your kids, if your ancestors or if you had a master growing up, if you didn't want your master hitting you because you didn't want to get up and work the cotton field today, okay, so how can you abuse or hit your child because they don't want to listen today? Mentorship goes a long way. And if you ask questions, because youth are human beings too, you have to meet them where they are. So if you ask a youth, what's wrong with you today, or why you don't want to do this, they will tell you. And that's my perspective. And my mom asked me before she did spare the rod, why did I do what I did? I would have told her because I'm not a liar. But she never asked if she caught me in action, then I was spared. Or she'll whoop me and it made me angry. So I didn't only have anger issues because I've witnessed my siblings get abused or any other relatives get abused, or I'm a victim of bullying too. So I was bullied growing up too because of my natural curly hair or my complexion. So I was bullied more by the darker skinned males or females, and they would make fun of me. I went to an all black school. And so they felt like I didn't belong there. So they would say mean things like, oh, you're not black. Or they, pick with me and make Indian sounds as I come in the classroom. So, or not even that. I've been jumped on many, many times. I was also jumped and initiated into one of the most vicious gangs in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but I've never been an active gang member. My mother actually moved us away. So that is an impact too. So if she wouldn't have moved us away, the gang would have kept coming after me. Because when my mother wouldn't release us to the gang members, they came and shot up our house. So I've experienced being brutally beaten and scarred internally that affected a lot, where the doctors told me I'll never be able to have children. But here I have 3. They're 24, I'm 21. Yes, praise Yahweh. 21 and 16. But I was told because I was beat so bad that I wouldn't be able to. So I wasn't just only beat by girls, and I was beat by girls, boys, women, and men. They were hitting me with brass knuckles. They stripped me butt naked all the way down to my panties. They took my shoes off.
Dr. Hedai, hold it for 1 minute. I want Gary to get his word in before we actually go off air. Go ahead, Gary. You got a question?
Dr. Hildaya, I just want you to know that I think you are beautiful. You are beautiful. And Wesley is one of the greatest mentors that you will ever meet. He's an amazing mentor, and so is Pastor Pierce. But
Thank
Dr.
you so
Hildaya,
much.
you are
appreciate that, Gary.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Dr. Bridges. I didn't mean to cut you off, but
go ahead, please.
I want to apologize to Mr. Wesley that I keep forgetting that you are a young person. Okay, so I just want to say forgive me for that, and you are included into the young people as well as you are into the older. So I hope you accept my apology on that.
I accept your apology. Don't get. I wasn't upset with you. I'm fine. I haven't ran my grandson.
He loves you, Dr. Pierce. I can tell that he loves you.
Oh yeah, we work well.
I know that.
We work well with each other. We do have some announcements.
Okay.
Too.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I know the announcements are important, but
go ahead.
I'm going to let you close, Dr. Bridges. I'm going to let you close. So you can just do the announcements. You're going to be the closer. You're the host. Okay.
Are we ready?
Yes, we are.
All right.
Yeah, so we want to talk about continuing our journey to Jesus on the National Children's Church Academy, and just by the way, the rebranding, the Children's Church Academy is not just for children, but the children of God. Okay, so all who are in Christ are children of God. So it doesn't matter what age you are. We invite all of you to come out on Sunday because this journey is going to be awesome. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about Exodus. We're going to be talking about one of the leaders of the lost tribe and why it's lost. We do have a recap on Genesis. I mean, this is going to be excellent. Dr. Bridges will be back with us tomorrow talking to those parents about what she's talked about today, because I think all parents need to hear this information. This is a great message. So that's National Church. Now, we will not be back next weekend because of the Thanksgiving weekend, but we'll be back the first weekend in December. Okay, so we got a lot of things going on here. So that is the Children's Church, guys.
Also, we have our 2-day conference coming up, and it's confirmed location here in Texas. Pastor Pierce will be a speaker on the 18th. Will be our speaker on the 18th. So this is in December, the 18th and the 19th. So in 4 weeks, we'll be having our youth conference for the young people. And I am so happy to be a leader of that, and can't wait to see what we're going to be doing in the move of God with the young people. And that takes me to February, which will be pretty much doing the same thing in February for one day.
My birthday.
Yes, I think so. Okay, go ahead.
So now we have the unique youth anniversary that's coming up in March, and boy, we got our location, which is the Ambassadors of Christ, which we've always given everything there, all our camps and everything there. They'll be the first ones. Georgia will be the first ones leading this. It is a book fair. It's Janet from Another Planet book fair and her journey to Jesus, and also it would be a fashion show with the Janet collection clothing line. So this is going to be really awesome. All our children authors will be there, and our children that are authors will be there. So we're very excited about this. We cannot wait. So that's March the 21st, Columbus, Georgia.
Awesome. Next week, we will not be here. So just an important announcement. We won't be here next week for a holiday. We'll return December the 6th at 10 a.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Eastern. And then we also will not be here on December the 27th, 2025. So we will only have 3 episodes in the month of December, the 6th,
exactly,
the 15th, and the 22nd. And Gary had an announcement as well.
I'm sorry. We just want to add to that we will be having different highlights on different weeks, and we only have 3 weekends, but we're definitely going to do Almost Lost in the System and Echoes and Flame. I'm just trying to figure out if we're going to do health or the homelessness or finances. So we'll be on that the third Saturday, which would be the first Saturday, is we'll do one of those, but I'll make sure that we do the advertising on Facebook Live and all the other platforms. I just want to take this time now. It's 12 o'clock right now. I want to take this time and let Dr. Lula Bridges close out for us because she is the host.
Okay. Wow. This has been really a great thing. Talking about how the Bible intertwines with cognitive behavior therapy with Echo and Flames. I hope that you have enjoyed listening and talking about how families intertwine in relationships. We want to make sure that every voice is being heard, and realizing that what we hear from the outside doesn't matter as much as what we hear together. If you're ever in a situation where you feel that you are upset or bothered by a situation, please make sure that you calm down first before you talk to your children. And children, please understand that respect is what your parents need and what the Bible says they deserve. So respect your children. Parents, you show that respect by listening to them. We want to make sure we listen to our children, whether we agree or disagree, but listen in prayer. If it's something that you feel like you don't know how to handle, you go to prayer first, talk about it with God. Once you've talked about it with him, he may send you to someone else to talk about it as well. It's based on how serious the situation is. But regardless of our age, we always need our parents. I love
Yes.
my parents. They're both gone. My grandparents raised me, but I did have mother and father that I was close to. Nurture them as much. Okay, older, you 20-year-olds something, go to your parents and talk to them. Let them know. And Dr. Hadaya, I am looking forward to maybe having an off conversation with you offline. What you said, I wish you had said it. You had been there with us earlier so that we could have heard a little more and maybe even talked about it a little different. So feel free to give me a call at any time so that we can deal with that. Thank you.
But
Yes,
don't
but
forget
I would
it.
love to speak about it on a platform again because
Yeah, I was
before
gonna
I was
say,
cut
Dr.
off.
Hill, Dr.
Yeah.
Hill, not to cut you off, it's just time's sake, right? I just wanted
Right.
to say that whatever we didn't get to say today, Dr. Hill Dyer, Dr. Bridges will be on every Saturday, this particular Saturday. So everything that we didn't get a chance to say, we got plenty of time to get to say it at another date, okay? So
Yeah.
listen,
Yes,
guys, I am
ma'am.
sorry
Thank
that we
you.
have to cut this here. I got another job I got to be at. So I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to talk to you guys later. And the other ones that I'll see tomorrow, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. God bless you. See you later.
God
Take
bless
care.
you too. Thank you.